Hey guys, welcome to Uncomfortable Conversation with Keisha. I am Keisha. I am a wife, I am a mother, I am a bonus mother, I am a daughter, I am a sister, but most importantly, I am a child of God. So, this week's conversation is centered around self-doubt. I think one of the most important ongoing conversations that I have is with myself. I have to hype myself up. I gotta tell myself that I can do it. I have to tell myself that it's going to be okay. There is a continual process, a continual conversation between me and myself. I often get caught talking to myself in just random places, and people are like, oh, are you talking to yourself? Yes. Sometimes this is the only intelligent conversation I can have at the moment, okay? So, there are things that I think we have to remind ourselves of on a constant basis. I think on a daily basis, I have to remind myself that I can do it, that I've been called for this reason, that there is a purpose behind me. Quick moment of transparency and quick story. It took me about 2 weeks to post the video that I made for last week. It took me a while to even record it. I was nervous. I talked myself out of it. I told myself I wasn't ready. I told myself I didn't know enough. And I had a conversation with my husband about how I was feeling, and he said to me, you know, Keisha, you're more than equipped to have a conversation. You're more than equipped to lead people into conversations. That your job, your life, what you do has allowed you to be in the area of helping people have uncomfortable conversations, and you do it very well. I also had to sit down and have a conversation with God, because once again, I was feeling nervous. I was feeling like I couldn't do it. I told myself that, you know, I don't have my master's yet. I'm not there yet. I can't do this. And God said, I didn't ask you to heal the world. I asked you to start people having conversations. Received. So, with that being said, sometimes self-doubt takes a hold of us, and we talk ourselves out of the things that we know that we are purposed to do. Sometimes we talk ourselves out of the things that we know that we are called to do, that no matter what goes on, your heart beats for this one particular thing. No matter what goes on, you are constantly led back to where that place is for whatever reason. The reason is that that's what you were supposed to do, but for whatever reason, we talk ourselves out of it. On a more spiritual level, that is one of the tricks of the enemy, that he uses that to distract us from our purpose. That if we don't fulfill our purpose, if we don't get to where we're supposed to get to, we also hinder other people to get to where they're supposed to get to, because our healing is not for ourselves. Our levels, everything that we do is just not for personal satisfaction or personal fulfillment. It's also so that we can share with others, and it's also so that we can get people to get from one side to the next. So, you know, that is one of the things that he uses to distract us. So on some days, these conversations it's not just me waking up in the morning and doing a daily affirmation, which I do. It is sometimes an hourly thing. It is sometimes by the minute. Depends on what's going on, especially if you work in high stress jobs, especially if you work with people who work your nerve. It is a constant thing of saying, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And sometimes that's the best that I have. Like, I don't have anything else, but all I can say to myself is, I can do this. I can do this. Like, that's all I have to say to myself. And in that actually gets me through. That gets me to the other side. But 4 things that I remind myself in my affirmations, 4 things that I do remind myself when I want to have a deeper conversation, are: 1, I am created for a purpose. That God did not just get bored and say he wanted to create me. He didn't get bored and say he wanted to create you. That you're not created out of boredom. You weren't created just because your parents had sex. You were created to fulfill a purpose. You were created to fulfill a special thing in the world. That you were created to do a special job in the world. And because of that, I'm sorry, I lost my chain of thought. But because of that, you can do it. That your purpose is tied to your purpose is tied to you, and your purpose is tied to your self-motivation. The other thing is that I remind myself is that I am loved. And there are moments where I don't feel loved. And this is just a transparent thing. Yes, I have kids. Yes, I have a husband. Yes, I have a family who loves me. However, there are moments where I just don't feel it, where it just does not penetrate. And I have to remind myself, I am loved. And outside of being loved by my family, outside of being loved by my kids and my husband, I am loved by God. So much so that he would give the most precious thing in the world to die for us. So for me, reminding myself that I am loved, reminding myself that it's going to be okay. I hate this video. Okay, Keisha. All right.